So today I want to talk a little bit about the number one exercise that pretty much every single business owner needs to get into place. Specifically, if you're like an online business owner, you're a content creator, you're a marketer, digital product seller, course creator, coach, consultant, affiliate. I don't care. This is a really powerful exercise that I would encourage almost every single person to do inside of their business. We've done it tons of times. I'm literally going to do it with you guys today on the call in real time. And this is something that we actually have almost every single one of our clients run through because when you get crystal clear on this, it makes everything else easier. It makes it very clear where your business needs focus. It makes it crystal clear where your business is breaking. It makes it crystal clear around where you need to put your focus and your attention. And realistically, it's off the backbone of simplicity. Okay, so this is something we've been referencing a lot over the years, talking about creating a linear fashion or a linear process inside of your business. Tom Belay, you talked about this a lot. My mentor, Jacob Karras, has been referencing this quite a lot lately as well. And it's something that we have kind of done over and over and over again throughout the years in our business. So I figured it would be a really good time to like just kind of cover this and realistically try to help you guys get this in place for yourself, right? Because in my opinion, this makes everything else easier. This makes showing up easier. This makes, waking up in the morning and be like, hey, what do I need to do? Well, we can actually look at this exercise and be like, okay, well, this is what's actually happening in my business, where I need to put my focus. So I'll stop yapping and let's dive in. So as I mentioned, I am going to do this in real time with you guys. Again, I'm not like an artist or I'm not a Pablo Picasso, not even anywhere remotely near that. I can't even draw stick figures. Um, but this is a really good exercise to do in your business. You can do it on Canva, you could do it with like Figma, you could do it on a piece of paper, you could do it with a Remarkable, like I'm gonna do on this. And the reason I wanted to actually kind of do it again for you guys on this actual video is because a lot of people don't do this in their business and then they wander around and they take too many shots at the dark and they have no real clarity, right? So before I actually like reveal the fix, so to speak, I kind of want to just talk a little bit about like how most people run their business. So let's say you're a digital marketer, okay? You create content, you sell products. So let's say this is your content, okay, for C. And we don't have any crystal like clarity on what we're doing. So maybe we're sending people to this offer, and then maybe we're sending people to this place, and then this place, right? And then maybe these other things send people other ways, right? Like most people end up trying to build their business kind of like a bird's nest, right? Like they create content again as the C, right? We're creating content and then they end up creating all these little like branches of where they're potentially trying to send people. And it just like breeds lack of clarity, lack of momentum because it's like, hey, maybe one day I'm promoting this affiliate product. Maybe another day I'm promoting my own product. Maybe the day after that, hey, I want to like grow my email list. Or maybe, hey, I want to send people to my stand store or, my funnel. So they end up just like going in circles because they don't have any crystal clear path in their business. Like, or, oh, I'm just going to change my business to whatever's going to make money today. Right. And I've done this in the past from experience. This is a very stressful way to operate your business. And it also makes it really hard when you're actually trying to convert clients because it's like, am I going to try to sell them this product, my product? Do I want them to opt in? Do I want to send them to a free training? Like, what am I actually doing in my business and where are they going? Right. Now this is not uncommon. Okay. And I've done it a lot in the past. I watch students do this. I watch clients do this. I've worked with thousands of students who've done this, and this is the exercise that usually helps them fix this problem inside of their business. So to understand this, we have to get clear that every business you see realistically only has three parts. Okay, so we have attention. Okay, this is like the marketing. This is the content, the ads, the TikTok lives, whatever it possibly is, right? This is how are you getting eyeballs or brand exposure to yourself? Okay, and then you have nurturing. Okay, so this is like pillar number 2. How are you creating depth in those relationships? How are you taking the attention you're getting inside of your business? And how are you actually creating depth in those relationships to, cause belief, shift beliefs, tell stories, create connection, create relatability? How are you actually doing that? And then you have your, conversion process. What that is for any of my non-tech jargon industry friends, that is literally just how you are converting sales. How are you making sales? How are you transacting sales? What is the process that you are using to make sales? Now, the issue that a lot of people end up running into is, especially for like newer folks in the online business building space, they try to go from here to here. They try to simply go from attention to conversion. Yeah, they try to go directly from a 60-second TikTok video to a $497 sale. And this can happen, but it's not like the standard. It's not, every viewer who watches your 60-second TikTok is going to be a buyer, right? Like we had a call this morning with our clients, and someone was like, "Hey, I'm a really weird scenario because I only watched one video from you and I bought $1,000 program from you guys." And I was telling them that like your buying experience is not the standard. That is like the anomaly. That is the, perfect scenario. But very rarely that happens if you don't have any like depth or nurturing process, which is like in the middle. Um, it usually ends up being like, okay, they've been watching, your posts for, let's say, like, 90 days, and then they end up buying. Okay? It's not like a lot of the times we try to go from attention to sale way too quickly. And this is going to become more and more prevalent if your product is more expensive. Okay, so if your product is $500, $1,000, $2,000, you have to remember that people need more time to marinate or actually like get to know and understand what it is you actually do. Okay, so I will kind of break down our actual business as of right now, to try to give you some perspective shifts in like the way that our business is actually structured. So we do a lot of organic content. So a lot of it is content. Okay, so we do a lot of like short form video. Okay, we do a lot of short form. We do kind of play around with a little bit of retargeting ads, but not anything like serious. Okay, like we're not making a bunch of sales from uh, paid media. Dabble every once in a while, but it's not something that we put a lot of focus into. We also do like a lot of written content, and then we do, I guess you could call it like audience impregnation, which is essentially just like audience swaps. And what this essentially is like, hey, you want to come do a live in my group? I'll do a live in your group. Let's get on a podcast. Realistically, putting your brand in front of other people, and then if we have our nurturing process, and this has been our nurturing process for years, is community. Okay. And then we do run an email list, right? We do like a 7-day email sequence. Okay. And then I guess the two-part process that we could consider our actual conversion strategy would be one-to-one DMs. I don't know why I put a B. Would be one-to-one DMs and Google Doc. Okay, so I understand that this can look kind of messy right now. I just wanted to kind of list some of these things out in our own business. Okay, so for attention, we are doing short form video content. Every once in a while, some paid ads. We're doing written content, and we're doing like audience swaps. For nurturing, we are doing community, which I guess inside of the community, it could also be like written posts. We could do video, long form video, trainings, and as well as I guess I would even consider like low ticket offers, right? Because a lot of us aren't like going to get rich from promoting low ticket offers unless you have like a big, massive audience, contrary to what a lot of the market will tell you. It's going to be really hard to hit your income goals just promoting a low ticket offer. Um, so that's essentially all the moving parts in our business right now, which I know it looks like a lot, right? It looks like a lot. Um, but the reason I listed them out like this first is so that way I can get a clear idea of like what I'm actually doing on a daily basis inside of my business. Now, again, these are interchangeable. Okay, you could be posting reels on Instagram and nurturing with an email list, or and converting with a webinar or an affiliate product. Like, I think the thing that a lot of people don't grasp is you can interchange these pieces, but the key is kind of picking one main focal point in each arena, right? So, like picking one potential conversion process. Are you selling via calls or DMs, or how are you actually trying to convert sales? Instead of like, I know for me, back when I was first starting, it was like, I don't know what I'm selling. I don't know how I'm selling. I'll take a call. I'll sell you this product. Maybe I'll try to sell you in the DMs. And it just creates a lot of lack of clarity and a lack of confidence, because it's like, I don't know what direction I'm going in. So I would usually recommend picking like one main thing for each piece, right? So, hey, I'm going to generate attention via YouTube Shorts. I'm going to nurture via YouTube long form, and then I'm going to convert via email. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways, and more than one way to skin a cat in business. But the key is getting clarity. And then after that, you create a straight line process inside of your business, which I'm going to map out for you guys as well, giving you guys a real time representation of what our business actually looks like in a linear fashion. Now, full transparency, it might look like a little squiggly because this page isn't that big. So, and my writing isn't that best. Roast me in the comments about it. But it is all essentially a straight line in our business, and how we operate our business this is exactly how we've operated our business for years. So I'm going to do on the far left, I'm going to do everything like content. Okay. We'll go marketing. Okay. So we'll go ahead and highlight this. So this is our attention piece for our business. Okay. Organic content, marketing, getting eyeballs and exposure to our business. Okay. This is essentially where the majority of our focus is most of the time. Okay. And then we have, taking that straight line, the focus of our group, and this has been the focus of our group for many years at this point, is right now it's a free school group. Okay. I know, so cliche. But for years it was also Facebook group. Fun fact, we actually ended up moving to school because we wanted to repeat the process that we used to take our Facebook groups to $1 million onto Facebook or onto school, and kind of put our money where our mouth is and repeat this process. Okay, so I do want to piggyback and like really reinforce what I'm talking about here. This is kind of how we look at step one in our business. And what I mean by that is, like, if you don't land in our group, then we don't really care. And I guess let me reinforce that a little bit. Like, most of my attention is on Facebook and TikTok, and those are kind of the two platforms that I really pay attention to. I do repurpose content to like Pinterest, Instagram, and all these other places. I don't even have 1,000 followers on Instagram. I have like 9,000 followers on Pinterest, and I couldn't tell you how to check notifications on Pinterest, right? I'm optimizing to look at how my content is performing on Facebook and TikTok. And then if you come from any other platform, if you don't actually come into our school group or our free community at its core, I don't care, right? I'm not worried about anything else. Like, this is where you start in our business no matter what. And like, we have a bunch of affiliates who are kind of struggling right now around like clarity around process, or clarity around the model as a whole. And it's like, the number one step that we're making every single person take with us in our business is you join the community. Like that's what you do. This is the step, right? So all the content we create is with the goal of getting people into the group. Now there is, different nuances of doing this. Okay. We've been doing community style business for years. So it's like if I put something in my group, I can go talk about that in my content. I'll probably do that with this exact video. I'll go post this inside of my group, and then I'll go create a couple pieces of content about it. Like, hey, I just dropped a breakdown of how to build a straight line business. Okay. So then what happens when they actually join the school group? Okay. So this is where it's going to start looking not like a straight line, but it realistically is. Okay. So then they come down here and we put them into a 7-day sequence. Okay. So they get ran, everybody who comes into the school group gets ran through a 7-day email sequence. Okay, we'll just go green again. Everybody goes through, they opt in, they come into a 7-day email sequence when they join the community. So we can kind of classify this as everything that is green is essentially considered nurture. Like I was saying up here, right? Your 3 pillars. Okay, your 3 pillars of business. The green is everything that is in this bucket. Okay. So everything is nurturing. Okay. So we got everything 7-day sequence. I'm gonna mess it all up, aren't I? Nice. Yes. So adjusted that a little bit. Okay. So then we got inside of that 7-day sequence, we do a $9 CLC. So this is our community launch challenge. This is something that we launched back in March, which is essentially the step-by-step process of how we actually run communities and our unique approach to running and operating our 7-figure business, which is all predicated on actual community-based business model. So this is kind of the initial flow, right? Somebody comes from our content, they join our school group, they go through a 7-day sequence, which then invites them to the actual $9 community launch challenge. And that's kind of on autopilot, right? Now, obviously, we do also do, I'll just kind of bucket this into one, which it's not necessarily a straight line like this, but we also do content in the group. We also do lives. We also have Miss Classrooms or other workshops that are inside of the community that all help people get ready for our offers. Okay. So all of this stuff is still essentially bucketed into the nurturing piece. Okay. So all of this is still essentially categorized as nurturing. Oh, look at that. I just figured out you can actually zoom. So as of right now, we have our content, we have our marketing, everything is linear into our school group. Then we run them through a 7-day email sequence, which casually invites people to, join our $9 community launch challenge. And then we do like static content, written content, engagement content, live workshops, and all these other things inside of our group. Okay. So then we have our actual conversion piece over here, which is we use one-to-one conversations, as I mentioned. So DM conversations. And I'll do this red. Oh, there's no red. I'll do blue. Okay. So we do DM convos as our actual mechanism for sales. This is what we've done for years. This is what we've done for since 2021. We've done thousands of sales online with products as much as $9,600 at a single call. And that is because we put a lot of energy or love into the middle of our business, which is like the nurturing mechanism, right? So like I was saying in the beginning of this video, it is possible to sell more expensive stuff with your 60-second TikToks, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult because there's minimal belief. There's not as much connection. There's not as much relatability. Okay, and then what happens, after we DM folks? Usually we send them 1 to 3 Google documents, depending on what they've bought, where they're personally at, right? So as of right now, we realistically only have 3 offers. We do have a 4th, but I'm not going to mention that because we're not really actively trying to push it right now. So we have Group Juice, okay, which is our signature program. It's $950 a year, which is essentially everything that we have documented and built in our business since 2021. Comes with about 5 coaching calls a month. It covers everything: community growth, offer launches, product launches, campaigns, TikTok shop, Amazon influencer, like you name it, right? This is our baby that we have essentially built uh, for years, right? So this is $950 a year. Okay, 950 per year. And I don't know why it is so small on your guys' screen. I apologize. Um, so we got content, school, DMs. Okay. Then we have our Clarity Compass, which is our new offer. And this is $497. And this is essentially our entire business model built into 7 custom trained AI tools. We literally spent months training 7 different AI tools on every single thing in our business, every framework, every strategy, every tactic, every offer we've ever launched, thousands of pieces of content, etc. This is our new and updated system that we just built. And the reason we actually built it is we run a back end coaching program that I was just mentioning that I wasn't even going to bring up, but apparently I am. Uh, we run a back end coaching program that got way too big, and what I mean by that is like not just from like too many people. It has got a little too big. That's why we stopped selling it, but it has gotten it like 2,500 hours of content, and there was just way too much information. If we sold this to a client and they come in and then they have to like sift through trainings and we've literally been running 3-hour workshops pretty much every week since 2022. So you can imagine there's a lot of information in there. So when we actually created the Clarity Compass, all of the custom tools, it was literally so we could just give them away to our private clients because we were watching a lot of them get stuck or buried in the weeds of like, I don't know what to do. Hey, I bought this program and now I'm inside of it and now I don't know where to start, right? So we essentially built all these custom AI tools to remove any type of guesswork or overthinking because we trained the custom AI tools on our entire business model. Like you come in and you just, get a business plan. It asks you questions, it interrogates you, so to speak. And, it'll create your content, it will write your offers, it will actually start doing the work for you in business. And we wanted to realistically build it to create a better customer experience. And we realistically didn't even have to make this change. I know this sounds really bad, but our coaching program has made us over 6 figures a year for the last 3 years. It does make us money every single month, so we didn't have to change it. But we realistically changed it to create a better experience for our clients, and then we turned it into like a self-paced digital product. Okay, so and then we also with the school tiers, we actually just bundled this up into a lifetime. Can't write, and that is 1,500 or 150 per month times 12. Great writing skills. Now I know this is looking kind of messy because this page is pretty small, but there is not really that many moving parts in our actual business. If we look at the actual core of it, it's like we do content, we do marketing, right? We do content, we do marketing, we push everybody into our school group, and that's the objective is to get everybody into our school group. And then we talk to people in the DMs and we see if they are a good fit to buy one of the 3 offers, which the third offer is just 2 of them together, right? So I'll give you guys a real quick rundown of this again because I know this is kind of messy. I wanted to kind of hit home with creating that straight line of business. And most of you guys won't have multiple offers. Like if you're kind of newer in business, I wouldn't even encourage you to have a ton of different offers, anyways, unless something is already converting. You don't need uh you know you don't need 6 different programs, you don't need 6 different things to sell. And this is also like a big mistake of like where if I go to your landing page and there's 18 links to your on your stand store, like I'm not buying anything from you, right? So the key is centralizing everything into a single space, right? So we have, if you're doing content, Okay, so this is like where our main focus is. We got content. Okay, everybody from that content is going into our school group. Okay, that's where we drive everybody. This is kind of where you start with us in business. And then after that, we send you to a DM conversation. Okay, and most of the time we end up converting with Google Docs. That's what we've converted with over the last few years, right? So you come into our school group, we play as many angles, we run trainings, we do workshops, we hang out, we create culture and environment, and we hang out and talk with people. And somebody's like, "Oh, I love this." Like, okay, we send them a conversation. Okay, after that conversation starts, we send a Google document. My goodness, Google Doc. Okay, Google Doc offer. Okay, so content, school group, DM convo, Google Doc offer, and then we get. I know this is totally not a line, but it would be if it was if I had more room. So then we get paid, right? Now, and I will show you guys like an actual visual representation of this on something like Figma, because it's probably better than my chicken scratch. I just wanted to do it in real time to like encourage you guys to like get this type of exercise done in your own business because it makes your business so clear. Like I'm doing content here, which goes here, right? And the reason it's really powerful when you guys start mapping out a straight line in your business like this is like, let's say this is my nurturing process. Oh my goodness, can't write. Okay, so we got that. We got N. We got C. We got money. Okay, so we got content, nurturing, or I guess I could even change this to an A for your attention, uh, conversion, and then you have like this is the last step. Like this is like everybody wants to make the money, but it's the last step in the process of building an online business, right? So the reason that this is so powerful when you map out your business like this is because hey, if nobody is coming into my nurturing process, I probably have a problem happening over in my attention. Hey, if people are in my nurturing process, but they're not buying my product or they're not coming into my conversion process, there's probably a problem going on in my nurturing, or there's something missing in my actual offer, right? Or hey, have I even sent enough data? Have I even sent my offer to enough people to even see if this is going to convert or not? Um, that's also another thing to think about where a lot of people don't even send their offer or get enough data or even enough volume to expect the data or the results that they want. Like you're not posting 3 times and getting 1 million followers or sending your offer to one person and making 100 grand. It's just not how this online game works, right? But I will show you guys what I mean by this. Okay, so this is another example of me doing this on an actual visual representation on something like Figma. Okay, so again, this is something that we have done a lot over the years in business. Okay, so see if I can adjust this. Okay, so again, see if you notice, this is the exact same pillars. You can just ignore this because I didn't talk anything about this today because a lot of you guys don't have to worry about that yet. Like we need to fix the front end of your business before we can worry about scaling. Like so many people come into online business like, "Oh, I need to be able to scale. I need to scale. I need to." That's not scalable. Like you're worrying about the wrong problems. You're worrying about scaling a business that doesn't even exist yet, right? So we got main traffic sources is TikTok and Facebook. Okay, all the focus, as I mentioned on this document, miss traffic, no focus. Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. And that's not saying there's anything wrong with these platforms. It's just that's not where our attention is. Okay. Then we got number two, our nurturing. Main nurture process, all of our focus. Okay. One free school group, MISC, low ticket offers, community content, and then a free program. Okay. Then we have MISC nurture process, minimum focus, email list. Like we do have an email list and an email automation, but it realistically just fires people back to our main, back to content in our group. We just create content loops of people coming back and binging our content. Okay. Then number three, main sales process, all of our focus, DMs and Google Docs. Okay. Main offers, the actual products we're selling, community cash machine, which is group juice, and then we're selling Clarity Compass as of right now. I did do this a little while ago. So this is the AI Accelerator, but we actually are taking a little break from the AI Accelerator just because our offer has got too big. This is our coaching program where we offer high-end levels of support. And there's too many people in there right now. So if we continue to sell it and continue to get people in it, then the customer experience starts to get worse, right? If there's 70 people in there right now, and it's just me and my business partner, if they want us to like look at all their offers today and all this type of stuff, we don't want to start ruining the actual experience for the customers because we just want more people in, right? So, and then mixed sales process, content looping. Okay. So the flow broken down. So the broad content on social media, the you can't create content outside your niche. I genuinely believe that you should be creating as much possible content as you humanly can, in as many different arenas as you can. Obviously, if you can't lean into two sides of the extreme, it's like I can't talk about my business 24/7 without annoying people and be like, this dude's just a billboard for business and he doesn't help people with shit. But I also can't just like talk about my breakfast and expect people to buy my premium products, right? Like it just doesn't work like that. Good rule of thumb is like 80-20 ratio. I picked this up from a personal brand workshop that I attended, and it was essentially talking about like 80-20. So like 80% of the content that you create needs to be about your process, your plan, what you want to become an authority for, and then 20% is like personal stuff, hobbies, interests, passions, whatever. Okay. So then we have everything centralized into a single school group. Okay. And then it goes into actual community content or our free profit pathways workshop. And then we do private DM conversations and we send them either Google document number 1, which is the community cash machine, or Google Doc number 2, which is the Clarity Compass. Or as of right now, we have a third one like this, which is essentially just the bundle, which is both of these together. Right? So it's nothing new. It's just these two offers in one for a lifetime deal, right? Give you one more example and then I'll let you go. Really trying to hammer in like the power of doing this inside of your business. Like, as you can see, this isn't a new strategy we've talked about. Like, this is one that we built 2 years ago, right? The committee conversion system. This is a good representation of how our business looks right now too. So again, a straight line in business. We have content. You have your nurturing process. This is also a nurturing process. This is the classroom inside of our free community. And we are converting via DMs. Okay. And then we're sending Google documents to convert sales. And then all the way at the end is where, you make the money. But a lot of people like to try to go from here to here. Right. And then wonder, like, none of this is in place. No value, no substance, no context, no nothing. It's like, hey, I bought this program and I made $1,000. Buy my program and make $1,000 too. Like, it works for some, most, not really. So you have to, if you want an easier time making sales, you need to put more focus into the middle of your business. Okay. Middle of funnel content is what, industry would call it. More depth content, more story content, some place where people can land. I don't care if this is a school group, a Facebook group, a YouTube channel, a daily TikTok live. Like, it doesn't matter. You just need something where you can create more depth in your audience's relationship. And this is our straight line business flow, right? So I really wanted to do this because I had a few questions today. that got brought up around like this new bundle offer that we're running. And the new bundle offer is not anything different than we're already doing, right? It's just putting two offers like this together over here and just selling it for one, right? So just one offer, right? So it's actually even simpler because now they just come in and now this offer right here isn't even an option. So now they come into the group and then they get extended an invite to buy one offer. Okay. So if you guys haven't done this, uh, I would encourage you to do it. If you guys end up doing this exercise in your business, I would love to hear your guys' feedback. Let me know if you guys are going to actually like play around with some of these visual mapping out. Let me know what tool you guys ended up using or anything like that. There's also another tool you guys could probably end up using that would probably do it really quickly, and that's Napkin AI. They do some pretty cool graphics and drawing style stuff that you could probably get it to do it for you if you wanted. But I'm curious to know if this was valuable, if it helped. If you guys end up mapping this out in your own business, give me a shout and let me know. I'd love to hear what moving parts in your business, or if you guys have a different perspective on why this is broken, share it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.